June 13th, 2024. The Hick Doctor, the number one asshole, is talking now. And I've got that from the horse's mouth. This pretty lady who married me 60 years ago said, "You're getting paid to be an asshole." I said, "I'm getting paid to teach it now." Okay, let's see what we've got today. All right. Oh, we have Mercedes, a YouTube question. Would the schedule award payment be higher when I had multiple injuries such as a knee, elbow, and neck the same day at work? Do I have to file a separate schedule award? No, you do. You take whatever that claim is, you rate that body part. So if you have an elbow on one side, a wrist on the other, a knee on this side, you're going to rate 3 extremities, right? And you rate it for whatever there is. That's because you may have had, and so let's say you had you're a Marine, you have a knee surgery, and then you have a strain working for the government. I rate the entire knee, okay? The knee as is, and you rate them all. Anything that's on that claim, you rate it. But if you have other claims, you still rate the entire arm. So there may be a claim for a shoulder, a claim for an elbow, another claim for a wrist. You rate the entire arm, okay? Or the extremity, whichever it is. And sure, you do it all. Okay, now this is Lamar. How do you rate chronic asthma due to Afghanistan, which is the VA exam? Okay, I got my VA hat on. What's the highest, lowest? It's you can look it up. It depends on your spirometry and how often you have the asthma. It could be 100%. I mean, but that's the spirometry, your breathing test, and then your symptoms, how often you have it, make a difference. All right. So it speaks for itself. So if you come in and for your spirometry, be around a bunch of smokers that day and come out of a death storm. Okay. All right, now this is Kevin. Can I file something like a claim for my ankles primary to service, and then bilateral osteoarthritis knees secondary to the ankle at the same time? Sure. So you come in for a nexus support for your ankles, and then you also will do a nexus support for that knee because your ankles are. In other words, if you're on the beach at age 16 and you got 2 flip-flops and you have one off, you take a couple steps to being that much off, you want that other flip-flop on. That's why a chiropractor can really do good work. You think you just, thank you very much. Okay? So obviously that's going to make a difference. Also, when you have bad ankles or bad knees or something, then when you lift things over your life, you're not going to lift it like it shows you correctly when you reach down and brings that box up. Okay? So it's going to contribute. In a federal and VA, if it contributes that much, it's 100% covered. Most states it's got to be 51%. Criminal law is beyond a reasonable shadow of doubt. But your VA law and your federal laws are very fair. No one knows it. No one follows it. And there's a bias against anybody who files a claim. But don't give up. Just stay there. Get someone who knows what they're doing. File primary to service, bilateral osteoarthritis knees, of course. Then I'm sure your hips, your back are bad from this. Also, same question. Migraine secondary to ring in the ear, sure. Depression, migraines and tinnitus, either one and both go make you depressed. And chronic pain from the ankles. Now, chronic pain from the ankles, knees, you're probably not going to get that in your migraine, but you got to cover that other stuff. Okay. Okay. I need to get my claim with ankles before I file for osteoarthritis. No, file it all at once. Let it all just be part of the history. Let the doctor unfold the history. Talk about how it started hurting, and then as the work you did, and describe the work and how the knees begin to hurt, and as you limp, they hurt more, and then make the doctors. If you do this, it's very helpful. If you get the book out that the VA puts out and give them the code and the diagnosis, it helps. It helps the raters. Most doctors don't do that. Okay, so get it all done, all in one visit. Get paid, get it done, and then fight it because they're going to deny it. And then you appeal it. A lot of times the veteran service officer want to re-appeal it to the same people that denied it, and for some states that's just silly because they're going to deny it no matter what you do. But if you go to the Board of Veteran Appeals, no politics. These judges are lawyers. They know the law is very fair and it is supposed to be pro-veteran. Just like in federal workers' comp, oral hearing, The hearing officer has always been a very honest person, no politics, no bias, just calls it like it is. The Employees Compensation Appeal Board, those judges just call it like it is. No politics, it's just, they're honest. Okay, so Jerry, permanent disability benefits. This is from Georgia. Can my VA disability go from 90 to 100%? Sure. Okay. Due to my diabetes getting worse, affecting my ability to walk, and I'm sure you have peripheral neuropathy, and you go from 90 to 100. Now it's hard because once you start getting those higher numbers, you might add 90 and 30 and still be at 90. So the numbers, like AMA guides, 1550 is 75. All right, but you can also be individually unemployable. If you have 40% and you can't work at all, you can file for individual unemployability. But you can't work at all. It's not like Social Security, you do work a little work. Okay. Okay, here is Jacqueline. Her FICA case, that's Federal Employment Compensation Act, Federal Workers' Comp. Exacerbation of osteoarthritis. Put on the roster for monthly payments. That means you're on temporary total disability, workers' comp. With no option to work in my place of employment, she's a paramedic. The first routine second opinion visit with their doctor, an ortho surgeon, had them add my feet and ankles to already accepted hands and wrists. Well, good for him. Yeah. He checked the MMI box, Maximum Medical Improvement box. Okay. Nobody explained what it meant for years. The most recent second opinion 2 years ago checked the MMI not met. If I apply for a scheduled award, that's the impairment rating in federal workers' comp. Does the most recent exam negate the meeting? No, the latest exam applies to scheduled awards. The AMA guides, I rate them the way they're seen that day, not how they were or how I predict they will be. It's got to be that day, and maximum medical improvement is, now, if you had carpal tunnel surgery, you cannot be at maximum medical improvement for a year on a nerve. If you have a nerve that's been operated on, you have to wait a year. But if you are getting, say, physical therapy, you're getting injections for your knee, that's maintenance. Okay? That does not mean you're not maximum medical improvement. For instance, doctor does 5 surgeries on a vet federal employee and did it on federal workers' comp. Didn't do it on insurance. They didn't have to copay. Thank you, doctor. But when will I be at maximum medical improvement? Now, the doctor without training in legal medicine, when it's more importantly not training in the Federal Employment Compensation Act, the Office of Workers' Compensation Program, blah, 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 and all that legal stuff, said, well, you'll never be at MMI because you're always going to need shots, you're always going to need physical therapy. That cost him $310,000. That leg is worth $300,000+. We had total knee replacement, and there's a pay rate and all that stuff. But we're not, that's just maintenance. It's not that now if you need surgery 6 months down the road, or you got surgery scheduled for next week, you're not at maximum medical improvement. But when you are seen by somebody, that is the day of maximum medical improvement. If they send you to a second opinion doctor, that becomes the day of maximum medical improvement if he examines you. Means, okay, you got a scheduled award, that's the day of MMI. And you rate them the way I see you. Okay? So the latest exam applies. So say last year you got 10 in your knee, this year I rate you 15, you get an extra 5%. Let's say last year you had 15, this year I rate you 10. Well, you don't send it in, but if you did, they're not going to take 5% off. I received a 12% MMI rating. Now, it's not an MMI rating, it's scheduled award. Okay, you were at MMI, so they did a scheduled award. My injury is a shoulder rotator cuff. I don't see shoulder. There is no such thing as shoulder in federal workers' comp. There's an arm, an extremity. So I rate a thumb, a wrist, an elbow, a shoulder to the arm. But actually, you can do a hand separately, but it's basically to the extremity, and an arm's worth 312 weeks. So if you cut off an arm, you get 312 weeks times, if you're married, 75% of your pay rate at that time. A lot more than state workers' comp. Dr. MMI mentioned my injured shoulder and my opposite shoulder had nothing to do with this. I don't know what that means. But now, if you got a bad shoulder, and let's say you're retired and you're having, and the other shoulder's giving you problems, under federal workers' comp VA, that's going to be work-related consequential injury from having to overuse, or service-related due to overuse. Okay? That's just common sense. Okay, Mr. B. VA has an unofficial blacklist. Doctor, you're on this list. I think the FBI or BIG needs to investigate if the list exists because it's wrong. People need to go to jail for breaking the law. Yeah, they do, but they don't. Now, let me explain legal medicine. If you do testifying in court or impairment ratings, the other side's going to call you a whore. Okay? Because you're getting paid for doing that, so you're a whore. All right? Get over it. When I started doing legal medicine 50 plus years ago, there was an orthopedic surgeon for the insurance companies would write 0 impairment for an operated back with rods, fused in rods. The surgery made him well. Now that's just blatant fraud, wrong, evil, Okay, now, then there was another doctor that rate every back at 50%, didn't matter if strained or operated. And even there one of them touched the patient. Okay, so in this arena, you're going to find people that are liars and cheats, just because they got a white coat doesn't make them honest. Now, there's a lot of money in writing zeros. Insurance companies love to work with you if you'll write a 0. Okay? But if you don't write a 0, they're not going to use you. Right? And then the plaintiff attorneys, the ambulance state attorneys, they don't have a lot of money, so they don't want to spend a lot of money, but you can't trust them either. I had Richard call me once, said, Doc, I needed 50% in every operated back, state works out. Richard, I want to give you 60, but Jesus reads my report. And so he doesn't use me. And so, but if I write 19 and the guy gets 19, that's better than someone writing 50 and getting 5. I mean, the dumb son of a bitch didn't figure that out. Never did, and I feel sorry for his patients. Just think, just because he's a crook. All right? And so I gave, now this is a federal, from South Carolina. You know my claim percent about you. I said, tell her, keep it up. It says me business. He goes home, his mother said, you go see that doctor. Now, by the same token, that same claims examiner gets searched, she's coming here. Because I tell the truth, because my manual, all these Bibles here are my manual, tells me to do that. Now my flesh doesn't want to do that. I was in a video once, in fact, in this room, and the attorney for the insurance company said, what's legal medicine? I said, well, it's different than normal medicine. If you come in with a runny nose, I can believe you in this, that. But now let's say you're the respondent, you're trying to save your client money, that's your job. That's the way our system works. So if you send me your client for me examined, I, in my flesh, are going to want to write a 0, so you send me more business. But in this case, John Doe over here, the plaintiff attorney, the ambulance station attorney, I want to have to guard against wanting to write a little high number, so he sends me more business. And so what I do is just tell the truth, because it's a trick. Because juries are smart, and the judges are smart, and you just tell the truth. And the other side may not like it. The patient may not like it. Tough. I had a vet that wanted to maybe $500 for the condition of glaucoma. I said, sir, I'm sorry, but it's not my opinion that your service-connected injuries have contributed to your glaucoma. There's probably case law out there and probably medical literature that it is, and you may find a doctor that do it, who I will not be hurt if they do. But I can't and won't do it, because Jesus reads my report and said, Doc, I respect you for it. God bless.